Hello and welcome back to my channel, Cozy Gamer Jessa. I'm Jessa, and in today's video we are going to be building a fairground, or like a fun fair. So this is the big open area that I have reserved for all of our fair rides and our little stalls we're going to have. I did place down some trees and a couple bushes and flowers ahead of time because this was actually where I used to store all of my trees. So they are pretty much gone at this point. This is all that I have left to do on my island other than my beaches. So the first thing we're going to do is start by putting down this brick path, because the whole area is going to be brick path. And if you're interested in downloading this custom code, I do have it linked down below in my Pinterest, and editor Jessa will put it on the screen for you so you can use it on your island. I have been using this path like throughout my island. It has been kind of the main code we've been using, and I really love it. I think it is beautiful. I think it matches the theme very well on this island, and the main motivation for this build was when I went to the treasure islands and I found all of the carnival items, like the plaza arch thing and the carnival rides. So that was the main reason I wanted to build with those items, because I've never actually built with them before, and they're so big and they're pretty cute. I did have to go to Harv's Island and get them all like custom painted so they would all match, but you'll see it later on because they all are in that green color and they look super awesome. So right now I'm just going to continue on with more path because I like to break it up a little bit so it's not just like one big slab of path, I guess. And there's going to be a bunch of stalls over here. So the path is going to like cover almost the entire area pretty much, all the way up to Fauna's house. And we are going to be decorating her yard, like once I pick up all those dropped items, of course. Her yard is much smaller than the rest of the yards on my island, and I feel kind of bad because I feel like everyone else kind of had like intricate themed yards, and hers is just like outside of the fair. So I feel a little bit bad about that. But then again, I guess she is very close to the fair, so she could come whenever she wanted, and it wouldn't be like, going out of her way to go there. So finishing up my path, I have some greenery codes that I always put in my builds. I really love them, especially on the rocks. I always like to put a couple codes on the rocks, just for like decoration, I guess. And we have the Ferris wheel, and we're gonna add a little party lights right there, and the carousel, which is so cute. I love the horses. And of course, we're gonna be adding mushroom items and a bunch of wheat fields in the green color because that is my favorite. Like these two shades of green look amazing. They're like grass. And more mushroom items, and that's where one of the stalls is gonna be. And then I want to have another stall over here, so I'm kind of like planning it right now. So I'm gonna place down the stalls and get it ready to put the other items up. So I went through my storage and pretty much picked them out of my storage and then put them in the surrounding beach areas, so I'd have them all ready for this build, because it's quite a big build for me. Like, it's a big area and I had a lot of items and I couldn't fit them all in my pockets at once, so it was just easier for me to have them set aside like where their designated areas are going to be. So this one is going to be a pretzel stand right by the Ferris wheel, and I have some pretzels to put on top of it. And then I'm going to add my leaf piles, and we have this street organ item, which I didn't even know existed till I went to Treasure Islands. And this area, I want to put a couple string lights and some tables where you could like eat your little desserts and fair food. And I thought it was really pretty because it's like overlooking the water, and I would love to sit there and eat my pretzel at the fair. I also really like the brown color of those chairs. And we have a little popcorn machine for popcorn. And I have a bunch of these string lights. So I have to use them up. And of course we're gonna add a little trash can and a little pile of books. So here's the oven, and this is gonna be like a bread stand. So I have a couple of bread items that we're gonna put on there later. And the teacup ride. And this one's pretty interesting because it's like a game, like a fair game. And I have a bunch of little stuffed animals that I'm gonna put on display on the outside of it. So it looks like you can win prizes. And I had this really great idea to put these donation boxes on like the front of the rides, so it looks like that's where you would like put your tickets or something. At least that was the thought behind it was to put the donation boxes, and like you can actually get donations in them if you didn't know. Like if people came to your island, they could like drop off bells, but we're gonna pretend that you put your little tickets for whatever ride you ride at the fair. And we have the ice cream shop to the left, and it has like a bunch of cakes and the gumball machine. I also have this cute little sign, my donation box for the carousel, and I'll put a mush stool, and then we have a garden gnome who's running the ride. And I really liked this balloon item. I especially like the dog balloon. I would love to have one of those in real life. Alright, so I'm adding my little stuffed animals that I have, and these are going to be the prizes for the game, which I thought was a smart idea to add like some of these like prizes, like these stuffed animals. And some of them you can only get from either treasure islands or sent in the mail by your mom. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna work on this bakery area, and I have this cool counter table, and I'm gonna put some stools in front of it, which I thought looked pretty cute because you can like eat your bread here. I also have these banners that were I went to Harv's Island and had them like custom colored by Cyrus. So the bread and the ice cream banner were both just like recolors of the banner item. So I'm putting down some bunnies and the gnomes in front of the rides, so it looks like they're running them. And I'm gonna place a little bit of more code in front of Fauna's house because I just want it to connect up to the fair and lead up to Tangy's yard. Her yard is going to be pretty basic. I don't have a whole lot of cute items, and it's such a small area. I really couldn't do much without like overcrowding it. So we have some code, and we have this cute little scooter and bike, which we could say they are Fauna's rides, or like people going to the fair, it's their ride. And that is pretty much Fauna's yard. Very basic. I've been placing these bubble machines around, so there'll be like bubbles in the fair, which, adorable. I love that. I don't know, it's just pretty fun. And we are going to be decorating the beaches, as you can see. I'm placing down some water codes and some greenery just to add to it. And I will be having another video of decorating the rest of my beaches because I still have quite a bit to decorate on my island, like beach-wise. Like everything else is done other than this, what you're watching right now, and then the rest of my beaches still need to be done. So if you're looking forward to that, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm building this little band on the beach, and I thought it was so adorable to have the gyroids and the gnome like with the instruments. I thought it was so smart and pretty cute, so I hope you like that. And I'm gonna put these little log stools in front of it so it looks like there's, you know, an audience, I guess. And we have the bunny and the bear. I also have a doll to put there and another gyroid to join the audience members, and I thought that was pretty adorable. I love that. And then we have the gazebo, which I've been wanting to use that for a while now, so I'm glad I got it out of my storage and used it finally. And right here, I'm going to put just a tiny bit of code down, and this is a new beach code that I got. So I'm going to use it here, and it's just going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to add like a bench here, a matching iron garden bench, just like the chairs and tables that I used earlier, a little duck, and that is it for the beach. And we are ready for our tour. I did time travel a little bit, so it's a different time of day, but it still looks super cute, if not cuter now. So we have our fair, our balloon stand, our carousel, we have Fauna's yard, the little game where you can win some plushies, and we have the pretzel stand, the teacup ride, and all of the bread. I think it turned out really cute. I love it. I hope you liked it too, and maybe it gave you inspiration for your next build. Maybe it's going to be a fair. I love the little band. That's probably my favorite part, is the gnome behind the drum set. But thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, notification bell if you want to be notified for next time I make a video. Alright guys, bye.